What's going on, everyone? Justina LeeStolz here. Today we are going to talk about getting organized. So people have been asking me about how I manage to do a lot of the stuff that I do in the same 24-hour time period that they have in their day. And a lot of that is using a calendar, writing things down so that I don't forget them, because I do not want to rely on just my memory alone to get me through a very, very busy day and work week and month. Now, the question is tactile or digital? I'm a fan of both. I used to use a tactile calendar, an actual physical book that you could write things in and daily transcribe them over to the next day if they weren't finished, or bullet journal. There's all kinds of different ways to run a tactile organization calendar, but I recently switched over to a digital calendar, like within the last year, just to trial it out and see how I like it. It's amazing. I cannot speak highly enough of using a digital calendar for a couple of reasons. One, I have so many things that I want to get done in a day. If I wasn't getting them done and I had a tactile calendar, I had to physically rewrite them out every single night. And that can be cumbersome and onerous. Like, it's a first world problem. It's not a big deal. But when you have a never ending to-do list and you have to write it out every single day, it can be a bit of a challenge. I didn't want to have to write things out every single day at the end of the day. And therefore I switched to a digital calendar. It allows me the option to just refresh, renew a task, and it goes to the next day. And that is a beautiful thing. The other reason that I like the digital calendar is that it's always with me. It's a product of our modern day 21st century lifestyle that we always have our phones with us. And therefore I always have my calendar because it's in my phone, which means that when I am out for coffee with somebody phones me, or I randomly remember that I need to do something, I don't have to search for my book and wonder, where is my calendar? I need to write this down before I forget. Pull up my phone, put it in my phone, hit save, it's in there. I don't have to worry about forgetting. It's also great because there is color coding. You can obviously color code in a tactile physical agenda as well with using highlighters or a different colored pen. But again, my issue that I was running into is that I didn't want to have to carry around all of that stuff with me all the time. And so having it in my phone allows me the ability to put it in there right away as soon as somebody calls me or books an appointment, or I remember a task that I need to do, and also to color code it. So my color coding scheme works for me. It makes sense in my world. You can use whatever colors you want for meetings, events that are optional that you might want to go to, but you're not committed to going to, tasks that you have to do. Color code everything. It just makes it a lot easier for your brain to visualize and to see it, assuming that you're not colorblind. And then the last thing that was really important for me in choosing to switch from a tactile calendar to a digital calendar was being able to include other people in the events that I was doing. So if I have a meeting with somebody, I invite them through the calendar invite. So it's also in their calendar, and I know that they have some reminder that's going to be set to let them know that, hey, we had a meeting. You should probably be there for it. So calendar invites and being able to invite people to different events and stuff through a digital means meant that I was eliminating one step out of my daily to-do list. When I got home, if I needed to remind somebody about a meeting or book a meeting with a bunch of people, I would then have to email or call them or text them to confirm or to book it. Whereas with a digital calendar, I can put it in mine, invite them as attendees, and hit send and save, and I'm good to go. I don't have to worry. I know that that step has already been taken and it's sent to them. All in all, there are definitely merits to both. In a physical calendar and agenda, there is something about having to actually write it out that solidifies things in your mind, and also maybe gives you a bit of motivation to want to not have to write it out the next day if you didn't get that task done. I do love a physical calendar. I love the feeling of the paper. I love being able to write things down. I love that solid feeling of it and being able to scratch it off with a pen or tick off the box and say it's done. But I also get some of that satisfaction with a digital calendar, which is just a lot more practical for people who are very busy and on the go. That digital calendar really marks out where you are at all times of the day, and it gives you the ability to have a never-ending to-do list that you can just refresh. And when you click off the box to say that it's done, it does actually scratch it out too. So I still get that gratification of being able to scratch things out. Hopefully this has helped you to maybe make a decision to try a digital calendar, or if you thought, no way, I can't do it, stick with a physical calendar and maybe try color coding or using different shapes to mark things that are tasks versus meetings. If you have questions about how to stay organized a bit more or what type of calendar I use, I will put a link down below. It's a super simple calendar on my phone that I use. use. Anybody can download it, and I'd be happy to help with any questions that you have about getting organized. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.